I want you guys to flourish. I want you guys to thrive in your journey. And the more information that we know, the better we can apply ourselves to where we're trying to go. Whoa. What is up, you guys? Welcome to the Tot Process, or welcome back to all my returning subscribers. Shout out to you guys. And I'm just going to start off this video by saying thank you to all the patience. Thank you for all the patience and for all the love you guys have shown while I was away from this series. I did take a rather longer step away, and I will dive into why I did that as the video unfolds. But I really do appreciate it because I was away for quite the amount of time. Quite the amount of time. There's a lot of ground we have to cover. We have a lot to catch up on. Starting with, how are you? How are y'all? I have missed you guys. I am happy to be back. And before we dive any further into this video, if you are new here and you just so happen to stumble across this video, my name is Tatiana Manaois. I am a singer-songwriter, and I created this series to let you guys in on how I think, how I feel, why I think or feel them, and things like that. So on that note, let's start there. Because the main reason for this series was so that I can connect with you guys. Long story short, I had some reconnecting to do with myself. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of things that I'm currently going through and working through that really needed my full energy and attention as much as I could, so that I could really sort it out as fast as possible, so that I could return to you guys the best version of myself. I didn't know it was going to be that long. I didn't know, what was in store for me, but the healing process is so important for me because I want you guys to have the realest version of myself. So whenever I get lost, I do step away. I do that. And I do apologize if I made you guys feel like I left you guys hanging, but we're back. We're back and we're better. And all you can do is get up and keep moving forward in the direction we're trying to go. Am I right? All right, we're shaking off some jitters, I'm not gonna lie. It's been that long, but we're not gonna let that stop us. So we got ground to cover. Let's see. I got my notes right here. If you're like me and you're somebody who needs notes to get through things, because otherwise you will ramble and you will rant, there's no shame in the game. There's no shame in doing what you gotta do to get what you want to do done. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Some of the things we're going to go over today: life update in general, like life lately, how things are going. I want to know how you guys are doing. How are you? You know what I'm saying? How are you? Let's see, we got music that's out now and music that's on the way I want to talk about. My latest song, Rhythm. Shout out to all the love you guys have been showing to it. But if you haven't already heard it, go ahead and listen to it. This episode will make a lot more sense if you listen to that first. But so I want to dive into that. I want to dive into the message behind it, the meaning behind it. And I want to dive into some of the rhythms I'm currently facing and battling and working through. So yeah, that's what the plan is, at least for today's episode, and we're gonna dive right into it. So first of all, life lately, I have been extremely not only fascinated but drawn to understanding the way our brain works. And I know that sounds like okay, but hear me out. It has become extremely important for me to understand how our brain works, how as a human being, how we operate, let alone as a female. For me, as a female human being with a brain and a heart and a body that operates in a certain way, it's become so important to me to really dive into all of those things. And because of this platform, because of you guys, because of my calling, if you will, to music and to pursue music, because of all those things, it's incredibly important for me to really have as best of an understanding as I can on where I'm at. You know what I mean? Mentally, emotionally, physically, and all those things. And I don't say that to say that that's all I focus on, but it is one of the main things I am focused on right now, amongst the world. You know what I mean? Like staying in tune with where the world is, and there's a lot going on right now. I had to really get a grip on like where I'm at, you know what I mean? Because otherwise I'm not useful. If I'm just constantly trying to do this, do that, and I'm not working on the machine, so to speak, and that machine is not working properly, then, you know, I'm not that useful. I have found that I'm a lot more useful when I'm my best self. So, and it's not to say that I don't go through things where it's like, hey, you have to deal with this now, whether you're ready or not. There's those times for sure. However, it is a daily thing for me as of lately in my life right now, for me to very closely pay attention to where my mind is at. Some of the patterns that I used to just by like second nature just operate like, and I want to dive a little deeper into that, so I'm kind of skating over the subject right now just to give you guys an understanding about where I'm at. So let's segue, shall we? Let's segue into my latest song, Rhythms. It'll really help me get more of my points across, if you will. So my new song, Rhythms, like I said, shout out to you guys for showing all the love. Shout out to everybody in the comments and then in the DMs really resonating with the message, because those are the types of things that really keep me going. It reignites my purpose in music. I'm not gonna lie, it really reignites it. So shout out to all you guys. And with that being said, let's dive right into what exactly Rhythms was for me when I wrote it, why I wrote it, why I felt like it was such an important message for me to put out there. In summary, basically, Rhythms was written very loosely based on my upbringing and loosely intertwined with like some of the stories behind like my siblings, my parents, and then, you know, just a little bit inspired by the families around me that I grew up, their family structure, like all of it kind of just compiled into this song. And you know, like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm incredibly fascinated with how our brains actually work. It might get a little intense because this is something that I'm very passionate about right now. And when I'm passionate about something, I become very intense. That's something that I've learned about myself. And also what I've learned about myself is that I'm extremely emotional, to the degree that I have to work on it. You know, it's not something that I found very helpful anymore in my life, to be so emotional all the time. Emotions are healthy, I do believe that, but too much overpowering, letting it overpower me is, you know, something I'm working on. So let's dive in. So I don't want to do like a lyric breakdown, but you know, maybe another video I might. If you guys want a lyric breakdown for my song Rhythms, let me know in the comments and I might just do it. So I talk about my mother, I talk about my father, I talk about my sister, I talk about my brother very loosely. And essentially what I'm saying in that song is I deeply realized that, you know, if you look back at your lineage, some way, shape, or form, the habits that I'm currently dealing with have been the habits that my family is dealing with, like my mother, all the way back, her parents, their parents. Like, so when I started to really deeply understand that, it became less of like, well, I'm this way because, you know, this, that, and the third, it's their fault or whatever. Like I went years looking backwards until I hit a point where I was like, yo, if you do that, you will forever do that. And so will your kids, and you'll teach them to do the same thing. But instead, if we just focus on what we can do to change the direction of this course, we could change this. You know what I mean? That is what my song Rhythms was essentially trying to get across, is that I, and maybe if you resonated specifically to the lyrics, or if it's just a generalized, like, you know what, you're right, I don't have to be what they showed me. You know what I mean? Whether it was your biological parents, maybe you were, you know what I mean? Whatever your situation was that caused you to be a certain way, you don't have to stay that way if it's something that isn't healthy for you, or if it doesn't serve your best self now. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't add value to your life now, or even help you get to where you're really trying to get, you can change that. And I've talked about this before. I've talked about this in my last few Tot Process episodes. I don't know which ones, but nonetheless, I've been on this journey for a while now, and I'm constantly learning. I think we all always will be constantly learning about ourselves and how to better ourselves and whatnot. But I do think that I did hit this very big turn in my life where it just became the forefront of my, my purpose, which is like, learn how to unlearn these things, learn how to properly heal from these things. And when I say properly, I mean using the right tools, understanding that tools are available to us nowadays. You know what I mean? The information out there, let me stop right there. The information that we have at our fingertips, do not underestimate it. Use it. Use the tools that have been given to us through technology and whatnot. It's there for us for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, and I try not to rant. I really don't want to rant too much, so I'm trying to focus on my notes here. But it's, like I said, it's something I'm so passionate about as of lately, to where I want to share almost everything, if I can. Everything that I've learned, everything that my eyes have been open to with you guys, because I want whoever's going through similar things, I want you guys to win. I want you guys to flourish. I want you guys to thrive in your journey. And the more information that we know, the better we can apply ourselves to where we're trying to go. Whoa. And here's another thing. You know what? If we end up ranting, we end up ranting. I'm sorry. If you want to shut off this video already, I send you off with peace and love, no harm, no foul. But if you're enjoying it so far, let your girl know, because I'm trying my best, okay? This kind of ties directly into what exactly the Tot Process is. So let me just speak on that really quick. I created this series, like I said in the beginning, so that I can connect with you guys, so that I know I say it in a certain way because I like the intro, sharing with you guys how I think, how I feel, why I think or feel them. I do that because I want you guys to feel comfortable to share with me how you guys think, how you guys feel, and why you think or feel them. It's an open dialogue. That's what this series is I want to have conversations with you guys. I might not get back to everybody right away, but it allows me to see and us to feel like, hey, we might be physically alone. Like, we might not be in person with this person through the video, but we are all facing something every single day. Something we're going through in life or haven't dealt with or whatever. We're all dealing with something. And when we talk about it more and we converse that this is what is going on in our lives currently, I feel like we can get through it better. I feel like we can reach our goals quicker, because then we're like, hey, you know what? You're right. I will get through this. Like, it seems so like I say this all the time. It seems so corny, like, keep going, like push through, and like super motivational speeches and whatnot. But at the end of the day, this is real, y'all. like this is real life happening. And I think it would be counterproductive to not talk about it. You know what I mean? So that's what this series is. The Tot Process is me sharing me with y'all, so that y'all feel open to share you with me. You know what I mean? And make you feel seen, heard, understood more if you resonate with some of the things I talk about or whatever. And I'm just gonna interject this piece of information right here. I just felt it on me to shout out Theo Vaughn. If you don't know who he is, go check him out. Theo Vaughn, VON. He's a comedian, and he also has a podcast called This Past Weekend. Go look him up. Go check him out for yourself. The reason why I wanted to shout him out is because I've been watching a lot of his podcasts lately, and there's something so refreshing and so encouraging to see a person who is just so open and willing to just show the fact that they're human. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people are nowadays, which is amazing, and it's great, and I love to see it. But when I do see it, it encourages me to do the same. Like, there's things that he'll say, like, I'm learning in front of you guys. That's what he'll say in some of his podcasts. Like, I'm learning in front of an audience. And it's like, yo, like, we are, like, for those of us who are in this space of content creating, like, there's never gonna be a day where I show up all perfect. Like, there will never be that day. And so it's like, I've said this before, but you might as well get up and get at it, So because it encouraged me to do the same, it's like, that's what I want for y'all, whoever's tuning in. I don't know who you are, but that's what I want for you, is to feel encouraged to take those steps to be your best self, to take those steps to learn more about why you are the way you are, and make the decision of whether you want to go a new route now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just this beautiful thing that happens, I feel like, naturally when you see another human being, because we're the same. We're not the same. Let me rewind that. We're very different, but we're nonetheless both human. So as a human being, and let me tone it down because I'm getting passionate. As a human being, naturally, we operate a certain way just off of being a human being, right? Now, just off of our brains, just how the brain is made naturally, it operates in a certain way. And I'll just dive into that real quick. Our brains and body are wired to operate naturally. Go do your own research, but I did mine a good amount to know that naturally it's going to try to protect itself. Those ways that it learns to protect itself may not always be actually protecting you, because at the end of the day, there's things that are necessary to go through in order to grow. And I went through years of denying some of the things I had to accept in order to grow. So I'm speaking somewhat from experience that your brain, depending on how long that it's been engraved to understand a certain way of doing things, it's work to undo those engravings. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope I'm saying this right to you guys, because it's so important to understand that, you know, like to start there. And, you know, I don't know where you are in your life journey, or you know, if you are healing and you've been working on yourself. Yo, first of all, I'm proud of you. Very proud of you for even taking those steps and facing it head on, or even just having the courage to look at it in general. But it's so true. Like, our patterns can be so rooted from childhood to where you're doing things now as an adult. If you are now an adult, you're doing things as an adult that don't exactly help your situation. You know what I mean? Because you're doing them out of habit. So like I said, it became so important for me to really take the time to fully understand just how I operate. Like I said, as a female, as a human being with a brain and a heart and a human body, and including the things that it has experienced since I was born. So I'll just dive into a little bit of my story like that. There are things that I'll break down in later videos as this Tot Process keeps going, because we're back. But there were things that I didn't deal with that happened to me as a child. And because I didn't deal with it for so long, now it's part of my identity. Now it's part of who I am. So that was weird. I was like discombobulated. It's part of who I am now. So because I'm identifying with it, here we go. This is where I hope you guys follow me. Because I identify with it, I'm attached to it. Maybe unknowingly, but for the most part, I'm attached to it. And when you're attached to something, it's hard to let go of. You might not even realize that you're the one holding on because you've grown this attachment to it. But the process of letting go of anything that you're attached to is difficult. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a negative thing or a positive thing. If you're attached to it, the process of letting go is necessary and difficult. Or should I say, it's difficult, but it's necessary. You know what I mean? So to understand those things first and foremost is almost half the battle, I feel. Because if you don't understand that you have to go through these processes, you have to face it the way that for what it is. You have to understand that this is years of a pattern being engraved. That you have to understand that first, because otherwise you're gonna get frustrated and fast too, and often when you're like, dude, why does this keep happening to me? And that was me. You know what I mean? Like, why do I keep ending up in this same situation? Hopefully all of this is making sense so far. Let me know in the comments if this is all making sense. I'm learning as I go, y'all. But without the understanding of what exactly it's truly going to take to see the change, I wasn't changing. You know what I mean? Without the understanding that, hey, this may take many years. this may take a lot longer than you anticipated. And when I acknowledge that, like, I don't care, and I made the decision to say, I don't care how long it takes, I'm going to see this thing through. Why? Because self-love, for one, I feel I deserve to heal. You deserve to heal. Let me just say that right now. Everybody deserves to heal. Whoever has been hurt, this isn't me saying you need to hurry up and go forgive that person, or this isn't none of that. I'm simply saying everybody, I believe, deserves to heal from what hurt them. I believe that. I'll leave that at that. I won't dive any deeper, but I believe that everybody deserves healing. How you get it, that's your journey, but you do deserve to heal. So with that knowledge of, hey, this might take a lot longer than you don't know how long this is going to take. All right, this is going to get difficult. I might want to quit. I might find myself falling back into old patterns once in a while because, hey, I'm still trying to learn how to not do them. Accepting all of that is a part of it. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's getting dark because the sun's going down and the lighting, but hopefully we're still here. But accepting all of that is a part of it. So that's, I know I've said it in the beginning already and I kind of cleared that way. But when I stepped away, it was because I'm like, yo, there are things that I'm working through that take a lot of energy out of me. Let me just say this again. And I said this in one of my episodes. Therapy, it's not all flowers and daisies and sunshine. No, you are actively going into your past and feeling the things that you suppressed years ago. That's painful. I don't know about you, but that's painful and it's tiring. It's exhausting. You feel like you have better things to do, but no. This is the thing. One of the things to do is to heal from it. So if it means you have to go there every session that you have and relive it almost, do it. You know what I mean? I have found so much strength in knowing that when I'm done with this, when I'm fully done with this, and everybody's journey is different, but doing it is the only way to get through it. You know what I mean? Like doing the work on yourself, doing the reprocessing, if you will. That's essentially what it is you're reprocessing what you went through, because when you first went through it, whether you suppressed it or you totally numbed yourself, some of us turn to substances, some of us turn to doing certain things that aren't healthy, whatever, just so that we don't have to feel that. Why? Because we're human beings. Remember, we don't want to feel the pain. We're human beings. It's trying to protect itself. The brain is like, nope, I don't want to do that. I don't want to feel that pain. So we're going to do this thing instead. And, I'm going to just slow it down on this segment of the video, and I'm going to pivot into our next note that I have here. One of the things for me was social media addiction for sure at a young age, because, and I won't dive too deep into it because it's not like this big thing that I went through, but it was just something that was part of it that was very important for me to acknowledge. Was my addiction to social media was engraved early on because I'm trying to escape what I'm feeling. And for me at the time, in the beginning, it was MySpace. I'm just sharing with you guys the timeline so that you can understand how our brains really operate. I learned at around 12, 11, because of the emotional neglect in the home. I'm searching for my needs, which are natural to have. You need attention. You need emotional care. You need these things as a child. You need these foundational things. And when you're not getting them from who you're supposed to get it from, you go searching for it. So one of the things, and I won't list all of the things, but one of the things that I found it in was social media. And at the time, MySpace, and then it grew to Facebook, it grew to Instagram, obviously, it grew to music for me, because it's like the attention that I would get from putting music out there. I didn't understand it, but what was happening was I'm finding what I'm needing in these pockets of things, such as social media, such as, just being on the internet. You know what I mean? Like people turn to gaming, and it's no diss. It's not to say if you're a gamer, this is happening to you. No, it's just, these are the types of things that we'll find comfort in. We'll find, you know, what we're looking for, which are, our needs are real. Our needs are just, but how we get them may not always be good for us. Did that rhyme? You know what I mean? So I became very passionate about understanding, like, okay, hold on. I'm dealing with patterns now because I've been doing this for so long, to where, let me stop everything real quick, just for some moments. You know what I mean? Let me stop everything. What am I really needing right now? What am I still needing that I haven't gotten from since childhood, and I've been trying to find all my life in other areas? What do I need? I need security within myself. I was very insecure for years, incredibly insecure for years. And you find weird ways to go around that, because you find confidence in putting out something on social media because you did it. You're out there, but you're still not healed from it because you're still doing it for the wrong reason or whatever. Like, I hope this is making sense so far. And if I'm not, just be like, no, girl, I didn't understand a damn thing in the comments. Let me know. But if you're resonating with this, let me know too, because we are so brilliant. Let me say positive things real quick. We're so brilliant. In the human mind is so brilliant. You want to know something, y'all? I struggle with social media addiction so much so that I had to turn my smartphone, can you see that, into a dumb phone. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's a real thing. Can you be clear? I'll put the video here or here. I had to follow a YouTube video teaching me how to make my phone into a dumb phone so that I don't get to my addiction so easily. You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds so weird, but I can still get to it because part of my job is to be on social media, and that's something I had to really rewire. And for those of us who are in the social media realm of where it's part of your job, this is for you. But if not, and you're just a user and you use social media for fun, this may still be helpful to you, but this is mainly for the people who have to work in that space. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I had to double down on creating boundaries for myself, because I still find ways to get to the apps, of course. I had to put timers on it, so I'm not on it so long, because I understand this is something I'm working through. And it's not to say like, yo, social media addiction is the biggest thing I face and it's so difficult. No, it's just one of the things, but it all ties together of contributing to your growth, your progress, you know? So I did that, and it just let me know, like, we are the ones who have to take action on these things. Because another thing too, these apps, y'all, I've said this before, they are designed, and I'm sure you know, they're designed to function in a certain way, just like how we're designed to function in a certain way, such as we need things like dopamine. We need things like stimulation for our brain, and it's going to say, we got you. We got you. You want dopamine? More things on the screen. Boom, 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 boom. Like more, you know what I mean? No, more sounds, like more of these pet videos, because you like to scroll in them. We noted that. We saw that. We saw that you like those motivational videos too. We saw that you kept scrolling on them, so it keeps you going. So we're gonna pump your explore page with it. And it's not all bad things. It's not social media is evil. No, it operates off of the information you give it. If you're constantly scrolling on something specifically, like cat videos or whatever it may be, cooking videos, whatever you tell it you like, it's gonna give you more of. And if you're not aware of why you're going on there in the first place, your brain is going to respond like, hey, let's stay here. We don't have to do anything else. We're getting all of our needs here. Dopamine, we're laughing, we're emotional, you know what I mean? Here we go. Scroll, baby, scroll. That sounded so wrong. But you know what I mean, y'all? Like, okay, it's getting dark in here. I'm gonna have to turn on okay, that's better. Okay, so yeah, I said I wouldn't rant, but I did, and I am, and we're gonna keep going. So it's like being aware is the first step, and I'm probably gonna put this in the title of this video. Becoming self-aware, y'all, is like almost the key in this world to succeed in anything. To be self-aware in every way, shape, or form. How you operate, how I operate, y'all, is my responsibility to know. 100% my responsibility. I don't know how many years I've lost. Years, y'all. Years. Let me make this point really quick. For those of you who listen to my music, very few and far between is there an incredibly happy song. Why? I had to ask myself that. I didn't realize that my habit inside of making music was to always be incredibly emotional. Incredibly. So it was almost feeding it. And I know that sounds, I don't know, weird maybe to some people, and it is a little bit for me too, but I had to really realize that, yo, your pattern is pretty engraved to go sad. You're very emotional. So naturally, like second nature, when you write sad shit. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It was just something for me to acknowledge. I'll bring this segment of this episode to a close, but I just wanted to give you guys I wanted to let you know about where I'm at currently in life. Where exactly I'm at in my healing journey, where exactly I'm at with the perspective that I have on the healing journey, and where I think we could use some more conversation around. I feel like some of us just forgot, I feel like some of us just need to be reminded none of us have it all figured out. Like, we really don't. So when you're able to feel that, I for me, it's like, it's relief, because it's like, oh yeah, what am I aiming for this perfection for? It's not real. You know what I mean? What am I beating myself up for not being this image? It's not real. The realistic thing about us all as human beings is that we are by nature, y'all, flawed. So the more that I embrace that, the easier the journey became. And it became like part of it, of like, yep, I'm gonna fall sometimes. So are you. It's gonna take a long time to unlearn some of the things you're going through, Tot. Like me to me, like talking to myself, like, yep, that's your journey. Keep going. Like, keep pushing. This is it. This is your path. This is your journey. And I want to stop right there. Something so incredibly enlightening. There is something so incredibly enlightening in really taking in the fact that your path, your life is yours. It's the one thing we have that we're given that is like 100% ours. I don't know what about it, but there was just something so encouraging and enlightening about really understanding, like, no matter what it looks like it truly is yours, like this life. And so whatever path you're on and wherever you are in that path, it's like, I hope that encourages you to just be filled with this like gratitude of like life, I don't know, man. I let me know in the comments if I'm making sense. I need water. I've been rambling, I feel like. And as this series continues, sometimes it'll be on Twitch live stream, so join me there. I'll put the link right here and in the description, but join me on Twitch live stream, because then over there is where I want to be able to interact with you guys like in real time and have conversations with you all, because I just feel like that's so helpful nowadays, like in this world, is to just have a conversation with another human being, like it's incredibly helpful. So I'm gonna try to bring this episode to a close, but my main thing I wanted to really come back on this series and tell you guys is that we are not alone in this. I know I'm through the screen for whoever you are that's watching this, but like, I feel you on like going through things. We all go through different things. We all go through very, very different things, but we all are a human being. You know what I mean? Like, don't ever forget that we are all flawed. Like I said, we are all facing something that we're trying to work through. We all face discomfort of some kind that we don't necessarily like, but we're trying to learn how to power through it and strengthen ourselves. We're trying to get better at things. We're all doing that, y'all, in some way, shape, or form. And I think there's something so powerful in remembering that. So I really hope that I'm making as much sense as I think I'm making in this episode. And with that being said, I'm gonna try to bring it to a close. I really don't want to ramble your guys' ears off all the way. I'll save that for another episode. But to bring it to a close, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm currently at in life, and I wanted to bring you guys up to speed. The Tot Process series is definitely back, so we'll be diving into many more conversations such as these. Let me know in the comments if anything in this video resonated with you. Let me know if you guys want me to dive deeper on a certain topic that I touched base on in this video. You know, things like that, or let me know of other topics you guys want me to talk about, so we could start that conversation too. But nonetheless, I hope this video was insightful, inspiring, and a source of positive energy. I really do. I'm really happy to be back with you guys. I'm really happy to have gone through the sorting out that I did, and now we're back. So I always look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. But until then, I love you guys. Mwah! We're back!